Hello and welcome. I am Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and I get the honor and privilege to serve you God's recipe for excellent health. And today we're going to be making some Ezekiel bread muffins. These are so delicious. I can't wait for you to try them at home. But before we get started, be sure and hit the like, the subscribe, and that bell next to it so you get notified every time we post new videos. And if you were already notified, you would have already seen the video on how to make your own Ezekiel flour. That was such a good, informative video. I hope you caught that. If not, go catch it there. Because today we're going to use that flour to make these muffins. Before we get started, I want to share with you this video is being sponsored by biblicalnutritionacademy.com. That is where our courses are to teach you God's recipe for excellent health. So you might want to check that out at biblicalnutritionacademy.com. Now let's get started with these muffins. I'm going to start with 2.5 cups of freshly milled Ezekiel flour. Now if you go back and catch that video, you'll see how I milled all of these grains together in my mock mill. And it's so simple to do, so inexpensive, and you get all of the value of the high protein, high fiber in these grains. So we've got beans, legumes, lentils, millet, and spelt and hard wheat. Now we have our 2.5 cups of flour, we have our salt, which is 1 teaspoon, our baking soda, 1 teaspoon, and our baking powder, 1 teaspoon. So we really want to make sure the dry ingredients are well mixed. Now just an optional ingredient I'm going to add is some cinnamon. I am totally a fan of cinnamon. I picked the cinnamon up at an Amish market, and for some reason it just seems so much more fresh than what I get at the grocery store. Now remember, if you have the mock mill, you can grate your own fresh cinnamon off of the cinnamon sticks, and that will be the most freshest you could have. To this I'm going to add 1 egg. I'm going to go ahead and add in our 1/2 cup of oil. There we go. And you could just use whatever oil is your favorite. You could even use ghee, you could use melted butter, you could use olive oil, avocado oil, whatever is your favorite. I'm then going to add 1/4 cup of honey. Once again, you could even add, as a substitution, some organic sugar. And then I'm also going to add 1 cup of milk. Now, I say milk in general because this could be a buttermilk, this could be a heavy cream, this could be an almond milk, a nut butter milk. Any of those would work really well. Make sure that egg is well mixed. Okay, so I'm just going to stir this up. We're going to put it in our muffin tins, and we are going to enjoy some delicious muffins tonight. Now you could also add other ingredients. You could add dried fruit, you could add nuts, fresh fruit, chopped apple would be so delicious in this and just make it taste even more fresh. So it's just a chance for you to be very creative and make some delicious muffins that your family will thoroughly enjoy. And that's how simple it is. I didn't even need to get out the blender, the mixer. Just stir it up with my fun Fisky, which we still have these on our website. You might want to check it out and pick up one there. We're only going to have them as long as we have our quantity, and after that, they're gone. And they're so cute and adorable to cook with. Now, I love using a cookie scoop. It just seems easier for me. I'm using these paper tins because they just make it look like I'm an official bakery. Like you went to some fancy bake shop and picked up these muffins for your family. Raisins, currants, dried cranberries, dried blueberries, dried cherries, or even fresh fruits, like I said, would be delicious. You could add chopped nuts. So many different ingredients you could add. You could even add a blended banana. Now we're using the Ezekiel grains because it's just so highly nutritious. Although the prophet Ezekiel was being told about this grain mixture because it was a sign of the scarcity and the famine that they were going to be experiencing. Yet we are enjoying it because of the nutritional value. And remember, the prophet was on his left side for 390 days, and then he's on his right side for 40 days, all in teaching God's people what's going to come, and they needed to change their ways. All right, so there we go. We have 12 muffins ready to go in the oven. We're going to bake them at 350. I got just a little bit left, 350. Since they're muffins and not bread, I could have made this into a nice loaf pan, but since it's muffins, we're going to bake between 20 and 25 minutes. I could also top them with a little bit of cinnamon brown sugar or cinnamon and sucanat, and that would make a really pretty topping. Once again, I could look like the bakery. Well, our muffins are done. They are out of the oven. They are warm. Butter just melts right on them. They're totally delicious. Remember, I keep teaching you high protein, high fiber. Well, this muffin, along with a salad, could actually be a complete meal for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. My husband's doctor was writing prescriptions faster than our hearts were beating with stress. Yet, could there be another way? Is there another answer? Well, that is when a friend suggested to me, Annette, go back into God's Word, start reading it differently, and start with the Daniel fast. Well, those words changed the trajectory of our lives. And 30 days later, we were prescription-free, 35 pounds lighter, combined total, lower cholesterol, lower triglycerides, and we knew that God had answered our prayer for greater health His way. Now, if you are praying for an answer on how to get started, I highly recommend the Daniel fast. First, go to the biblicalnutritionacademy.com website, click on the Daniel fast, and sign up. It's that easy. Plus, the link will be in the show notes below. So they are so delicious. Now, I want to share with you one more thing. When I use these paper cup holders, it's so much easier to remove the muffin than those other cake holders that we've used for so many years. These just make it a breeze to just take the muffin out. Have you ever had those other muffin, liners and your muffin sticks to the paper? Well, these, it doesn't happen. They pull right off and you have delicious muffins without half of the muffin still in the paper. So that's another reason why I like these. They just look professional. They look like we've been to the bakery. And yet we're just really serving our family healthy food that's going to satisfy, healthy food that's going to nourish. And yet, making these for your family, please don't not mention about the word Ezekiel. Ezekiel was a prophet. He was a prophet that God sent to warn the people. Trouble was going to come. This was actually a bread of scarcity, and yet we are enjoying it for its high nutritional value. And many times that's the way God works. He gives us things that we don't even recognize the value of to get us through a difficult situation. And so I hope you enjoy these Ezekiel muffins as much as I do. They're just a great addition to any meal of the day. And I really hope to read your comments down below. But don't forget, make your own Ezekiel flour. Go back to that video, do that first. That will make about 9 cups of flour. Store it in the freezer and then use it whenever you're ready to make a quick batch of muffins. I'm Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com. It is always my joy to serve you God's recipe for excellent health. Thanks for watching.